an opportunity for the public to speak on this issue for or against. And the friendly request would be one at a time, please. And if you can state your name and address for the record, and then you can speak. And then I'll just we'll do this one at a time, and we have as much time as we need. So, call for submissions. Lots of friendly faces to choose from. Lady in purple.
Hi, my name is Rachel Tutt. I live at 63605 Old Jail Road. Is that too fast?
I got that. She's amazing.
I stand in support of this project, strongly in support of the project. I was at the open house and didn't have a chance to write a letter in support, so I thought I'd come in person. Through the course of my work, I experienced people telling me about the stories of their inadequate housing and their real difficulty in finding good housing here in Hope. I'm just so pleased to see a group that has the experience and the track record that these folks have that are willing to come and help with the housing situation here in Hope. So I'd like to strongly support it. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Tutt. Appreciate your comments. Mr. Bailey.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. I'm speaking on behalf of Free Rein Associates Training Limited and also of the Work BC Centre. Our interest in this project is closely tied to employability within the community. And certainly we're seeing a number of businesses in the community who are struggling to find workers. This, together with the lack of available housing in the community, is starting to create something of a catch-22 situation. And certainly from an economic development perspective, the need for housing to house workers who can do work in the community is starting to show itself with the employers that we're speaking with throughout the community. We're strongly in favour of this project and would very much like to see it go ahead so that people can afford to work and live in this community.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. And just for the record, what was your address there, please, for Ms. Harkin?
21356 Lakeview Crescent.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bailey. Well presented. Additional comments from the public? All these friendly faces to choose from.
I'll say something.
Yeah.
I'm Stephanie. I live at 345 Ferry Landing Place, and I'm speaking as a resident, a taxpayer, and an employer. And I would just like to echo what Peter Bailey was saying, is that our town can't grow if we don't have workforce housing. And if we're trying to attract young families here as our target demographic, they need housing, a variety of housing options. And we're seeing already a trend with the development pressure coming from the Lower Mainland and the Fraser Valley, increasing housing prices. So it's not just about the people who are coming here finding housing, it's about the people, the seniors and the families who live here being priced out of their current accommodations. And so as that housing pressure comes at us, we have got to have a variety of housing options here for the residents so that they can continue to live in hope. We can't be displacing people through economic development success, right? So I'm strongly in support of this, and I think we need 10 more just like them, and as fast as we can get them.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hooker. Appreciate that. Now, a quick question through to the proponents here. A question has been brought to my attention a number of times, and I think it was answered at a previous meeting, but so you can put it in the record here. Now, obviously, the public buy-in for this project is because we have a lot of existing local needs for affordable housing. So what kind of procedure will be involved in making sure that we, that you, I guess would be the proper term, that you select locals before out-of-towners can take the affordable housing?
I think it really goes without saying. The application process, of course, will be put in place as it is for all of our housing. But I can't see picking over the local community as we do in all of our projects. Definitely local community members will have priority.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good, because that was a question that was posed a number of times to me, that people were saying, well, it's just going to be Vancouver folks that need affordable housing coming in, or will it be targeted to local people in need?
Definitely targeted, and that also, to add to that, we will be looking for landscapers, janitorial support. We will be looking into the City of Hope for hiring local people for those positions.
Sounds good. Additional comments from the public?
Are questions allowed, or is it just?
Questions are fine too?
Yeah, so I missed the open houses. I'm sorry. My name's Pat. I live at 695 Willow.
Sorry, what was the?
695 Willow Street.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, is it, so it's geared towards people that are currently homeless living in Hope? Like, is there people that are involved in social programs already? Or is it families or single men, or is there barriers to who gets in and out?
It isn't geared to specifically homeless, that are people that are currently homeless. It's definitely geared to an income range. So definitely the vulnerable that are at risk of homelessness, if we're looking and can afford to pay some rent, there will be some subsidy attached. So it's definitely going to be geared towards lower income, lower to medium income families, singles, elders, broad range, anybody. But it is income verification.
Okay,
I have a question.
yes.
Will residents be able to have pets there?
Most likely, yes.
That's great.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
That was a doggone good answer. Sir?
My name's Sam Masterton. I live at 734 Fifth Avenue. I'm for it. Thank you.
No one can accuse you of beating around the bush. Thank you, Mr.
I also support that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, final call for verbal or written submissions.
My name is George DeBure. I'm at 21424 Richmond Drive. Will these units be accessible for handicap?
Yes, a certain percentage will be, yes.
Okay, then, what about
Name and address, sir.
Dave DeBeer, 21424 Richmond Drive?
Yeah.
Just wondering about the process of applying, because I called into the office to see if I could apply or get an application for it, so I don't get left in the rear end, and they don't have any yet. So when would be the safest time for me to inquire about that then?
Yeah, just to answer, this project has not even been accepted for
Right.
BC Housing yet, so we're at the very preliminary
Okay.
stages. It will come up on our website if and when we get to that point of accepting applications.
Okay,
Yeah, we're just sort of accepting for Chilliwack, Bill Brady.
right. Oh, very
But
good.
just keep an eye on the website, it will show up there.
Okay, website it is.
Yeah. So a quick question through to the proponent. What is the anticipated timeline, like realistic timeline to have this project completed if all the ducks get in a row here?
Average start to finish from approval and building permit is about a year. So it really depends on how quickly that process goes through. We would love to see it 2020 as a completion date, if all goes well.
So I guess just another question, a follow-up question. The reason that BC Housing has not been on site at this point, now, do you have support in principle at this point from BC Housing?
The call has only come out quite recently, and the deadline is October 5th, and we are prepared to be submitted by that deadline.
Okay.
So we've had an RFP sitting on their desk, but without an actual call from BC Housing, so we've had this sitting on their desk for quite some time, waiting for the RFP to actually be put out there.
Okay.
So we're ahead of the game, I think.
Okay. You might have to give them a fresh copy that's been sitting there for
There
a
you
while.
go. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think we'll officially declare this public hearing closed, and then the council meeting will start at 7. So, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.